Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome Bitcoin to the week. It is a great pump. We are seeing an enormous green candle here in Bitcoin land today. And the question on everybody's mind should be, what is causing this? And we're going to go into that today in this video. Why the pump? What's going on? They can make some comparisons in the charts. Yeah, that's right. We're going to dive into the charts a little bit today. Look at a little bit of TA. We're also going to go into a bit of news about the things that could be causing this. So first of all, let's take a look at this amazing. This is just nice. Just feels nice to wake up on a Monday and have some nice green price action. In fact, we're getting some more price movement in this markets overall. Before I get into the technical analysis here, let's go into just look at the crypto charts overall, or the markets overall. One thing I want to point out to you guys that I've been talking about is TON, right? And you can see that this had a 50% pump. Now, DWF as market makers are involved in this. I don't know if this is manipulation here, but I can tell you that there was a lot of news in Token 2049 about TON and TON blockchain and Telegram. Remember, that's 800 million users using Telegram with over 1.5 million growers, 1.5 new million users. Sorry guys, it's late. I didn't get much sleep last night. Just got back from Token 2049. As almost 1.2 million new users every day coming to Telegram. So now let's get into this and take a look at this chart, guys. So what I want to show you is that we had a big breakout a few hours ago. Actually, it was this morning. And you can see that Bitcoin broke through the 200-day moving average. So this is a very bullish sign where this moving average before was working as a resistance line, now has become hopefully support from what we'll see. But what I really want to draw your attention to here, and the question is, should you buy at this point right now? And you don't want to chase green candles, right? So right now wouldn't have been a good place to buy, but what I told you guys to last week, down here at 25,150 or 130 is when I made the video. You guys can go watch it to buy in here. However, I did close up my trade a bit higher at 2,800, 28,000, sorry. And yeah, so this potentially, we'll get into what potentially could be causing this, because again, Bitcoin has been, as you guys know, just sideways and super boring for a long time. But if we zoom out a little bit and we look back here, zoom out. Now look at the similarities here between this zone where I drew the circle over here and this one over here. And you can see this one on the left is right before this massive, there was the front run. Remember we talked about it in the video. It was, everyone wondered, how did this green candle right here, how did this get printed? And then this up here is when the news actually broke, right? So there was insiders who knew, and it wasn't massive, right? But it's very similar to what we're seeing right here, right? So these are very, very similar charts. And the question on everybody's mind right now is, did Gary open his mouth and tell some of his friends, right? Is something going on here? But let's take a step back and look a bit more about, so Cold-Blooded Schiller says, in just 5 days in length and 6% in movement, this is now the longest period of sustained upside price action we have seen Bitcoin in 3 months. In just 5 days. So you can see like it just sets the bar quite low, where we haven't had like in over 3 months, like a period of upward price movement in Bitcoin for more than 5 days. So let's take our small victories where we can, and hope that this is the trajectory moving forward. You know, as I've said before many times, is that the closer that we get to November, the better I feel about the market. I still do believe that it's possible that we see some sort of flash crash or black swan event, which sends the market one kind of final capitulation. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that it's very, very possible it could happen. You know, or we could see this ETF that could be announced soon, and that could send us into a bull market. So it's hard to know either way. But we are starting to see some good price action. And so, you know, this could also be very well literally just the guys in Asia, the very rich ones, who have spent the last 10 days or whatever getting super drunk, watching the F1 and going to Token 2049, and probably were away from keyboards. Now maybe have decided to come and start playing the markets a bit more. And we're almost through. Well, we're halfway through September, guys. So September, but hey, it's been a good month in September so far. We're up, right? So we have defied the odds so far. but we can't count our chickens before they hatch, as they say. But you can see this line down here. This is new open interest just as of today. There was almost $1 billion in open interest created today. And open interest, guys, just so you know, is just generally the amount of contracts open on exchanges that are using leverage, right? It's either futures, perpetuals, whatever. And so this tweet you can see from Runner XBT, more than 910 million in leverage added within the last 11 hours. That's 18% of total open interest. This is huge. Look at this chart. This is just like this is a bull run in open interest. So you can see how much is going on. And so you have to ask yourself, what is going on here, right? And you can see the speculation in the comments below, about potential ETF. So decent sized Coinbase premium right now and big increase in open interest following BTC. Every time this happens, the belief is that there's some kind of front running for ETF announcement. Worst case in the short term is that sailors just buying more Bitcoin, right? Or some other rich billionaire or something. Or like I said, it's Asians getting back to work after token 2049. So this week on the timeline, we got today, right now, as you can see over here, Mario's hosting this space, talking about the Binance and SEC hearing, what that could mean. There's also speculation about if the Binance hearing has a positive outcome, maybe there's some insider information about that, which could send the markets higher, but I don't think that that's likely because I don't think that's likely. Another short move might be, and I saw one of my friends in his trading groups actually open a short on BNB right now, just in case the news from the Binance hearing is bad. But we also have the CPI announced tomorrow and FOMC on Wednesday for the interest rates. And then the press conference on Friday. And on Friday is the documents in the Binance and SEC case will be unsealed. These are the documents that were filed in a sealed way. This is what everyone was speculating that could be so bad because they normally never do that and it's not normal, and that this could be really, really some sort of heavy types of accusations here. So, and this is Adam Cochran who just comes out and says, there was a random rumor that Gensler will approve one of Bitcoin's ETFs because it's his personal Vietnam and he wants a job at one of these big trade shops after. And if you guys don't know what he meant by personal Vietnam, don't feel bad. I had no idea either, so I went on good old Urban Dictionary to look it up. Hey, this is education channel, right? We're going to teach you some education today because I learned this too. So it's a difficult situation that one experienced that has as traumatic and harrowing as fighting a long, brutal war, coined by Donald Trump in 1997 as it was in an interview with Howard Stern, right? It's just like someone going through a personal battle. So what it means of this tweet here is essentially, this has been the one thing that Gary has been really, hung up on, and that now he's facing some big titans like, Fidelity and BlackRock and things like that. It was easier with the smaller guys in there before, but now with the big guys that are in there, it's a lot more pressure, and I'm sure it's not fun for him, right? He doesn't probably like to do this kind of stuff. And, how this kind of stuff works, and this is, what he says right here when he says he wants to get a job at these big trade shops after. Same thing that happened with Purdue and this Oxycontin stuff, and the guy at the FDA who literally, I don't know if you guys have seen this documentary, he literally would not approve Oxycontin until Purdue basically took him to a hotel for 3 or 4 days, probably got him a bunch of hookers and offered him a job, and they did, right? They did. They came out of that hotel with the FDA approval, and Gary Gensler's best bet right now is why would he stay at the SEC, right? He's probably not making so much money. He could just pass these ETFs, go get a job at BlackRock or Fidelity, whatever, make $1 million a year, plus all kinds of other incentives, right? So this is not a matter of if, this is just a matter of when this gets approved. And there's really no other reason that you would see a chart like this today. Really, I mean, yeah, just speculation, of course, but again, it's very, very similar to what we saw before about front running and people getting the news, and that wasn't supposed to happen, right? News that can manipulate markets is not supposed to get out and about for people to be able to do things like this. Remember, this was the BlackRock filing. Look, and then whoever here came in, longed here, and got massive upside on this news. Would have been a great play to cover. I'm not going to go into on depth here, but actually, real quick question. let me know in the comments below, or just, what would you do if you woke up tomorrow or a notification came up on your phone that told you that the BlackRock ETF was approved? What would you do? Would you long Bitcoin? Or is it, you think it's going to be a sell the kind of buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing, or you think altcoins are going to pump like crazy? So for me, obviously, the second that you see it, and this is why I think Newsly, I don't have it pulled up right now, but Newsly is a really cool project. I don't know enough about the token economics, but I think for these news events, it might be a really interesting kind of play. And so Newsly it probably will get more useful when the markets become more volatile. Again, in this sideways market, there's just not a lot of news. And even when there is big news in this kind of market, it just hasn't seemed to move the price. And so, but when it does get more volatile and more volume comes in, that will be very, very interesting. So, and then I'm like, you guys know if you've been watching this channel for the past few weeks, how bullish I am on account abstraction. I'm not going to read this whole thing for you, but I just want to point out to you, and it's from Andrew Mo at 0x Andrew Mo. I definitely suggest you guys go check out this thread on account abstraction. It's very, very interesting, and we're using it to build things here at Master Ventures, Paid Network, Commonwealth, things like that. So this is what's going to bring massive adoption into the markets. All right, guys. Hope that you found that useful, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.